Hi, everyone. Hope you all can hear me properly. And thank you all so much for joining with us for the introductory session of IEEE IES Generative AI Challenge 2025. And my name is Lakshita Gunasekara, and I'll be the hackathon coordinator for the whole event throughout the entire 2 months between like when you're doing the hackathon as well as once you submit the icon paper and then until you finish up everything and then proceed the travel grants. So I'll be the one who will be helping with you. And today we have Professor Dustin De Silva, who is the chair and then the leader, lead of this IS Generative AI Challenge. And it's his idea that we were able to do. And then this is the second iteration of the Generative AI Challenge. So to start off, to give you a little bit of brief introduction about what this challenge is, and then what is the Industry Electronic Society's role in organizing such challenge. So I'd like to invite Professor Dustin to share his view and then to talk to you a little bit.
Thank you, Lakshita. Amazing work once again, Lakshita. Great coordination and leadership in organizing such a large scale event and also having sort of the global outreach. So pleased to see all of you. So we have about 47, it keeps going up. That's really good. Um, Welcome to the IEEE. I'm assuming some of you are members or you've heard of this organization. If you haven't, we'll go through a bit of the details. And also at the same time, I'm also welcoming you to the Gen AI Hackathon 2025. So the IEEE is a very large organization, and this is the organization that's supporting or sponsoring this event. Mainly because of the vision of the organization, which is advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. And if you talk about technology, it's not so much transistors or semiconductors that's the leading edge technology these days. It is AI. So this hackathon is suitably positioned to make sure that we leverage the most cutting edge technology available in the world for the benefit of humanity. And this benefit is, there's multiple dimensions to this benefit. So firstly, it's to you. You benefit from the expertise that we bring through this competition, through the mentors, through Lakshit and myself, all the other mentors, as well as the other experts, academics, industry practitioners in the larger society, and also what you produce as an outcome of this competition. So potentially a prototype version of this technology that you have proposed in your hackathon proposal, and the prototype as well as a research paper. So the prototype might be potential, most likely outdated in a few months or years when the AI evolves, but the research paper is a really strong contribution because it contributes to other researchers, other individuals, and they start what we call building on the shoulders of giants, because they will leverage your research and produce even better research. And that's how we have things like ChatGPT is it's not just one company doing all the hard work. It is many decades of research and development that has led to this great utility of AI because of these large research communities. So the IEEE and the IES, which is a society within the IEEE, is supporting you in taking that next step towards research. So you are interested in technology, but you're not just a consumer of technology. You're not just using a smartphone or ChatGPT as an app, but you actually want to build something from this. So this is the intention. This is the goal, the objective of this competition, to bring your creativity and innovation through this competition into the research world. And we will support you and guide you through that process. So coming back to the IEEE, as I said, it's advancing technology for the benefit of humanity, and it's a global community of many different activities, and this activity is a research and membership sort of combination. So we have an expectation that you will become members of the society, the IEEE and the IES when you participate in this competition, because it is a very small fee for becoming members, student members mainly, and that then benefits the society in terms of all the other activities they would do in promoting that we have members who are actively participating in doing research that produces a benefit, a technology benefit, especially in the area of AI. So some facts and figures. So most research papers in the IEEE societies get published in what's called IEEE Explore, a digital library. And there's more than 5 million research papers in there, lots of conference papers, journal papers. I won't get into the details of this, but we can discuss this in a later session. So that's the publications. These are the research outcomes from the societies. The membership is really large, so it is the largest technical professional organization. So if you're working in technology, it's a no-brainer really to become a member of the IEEE, because there is a lot of benefit from being associated with this society in terms of career advancement, in terms of career changes, in terms of technology understanding. So there is no endless benefits of being a member of a society, and that's what 500,000 members are showcasing. There's about 150,000 student members, and also many regions worldwide, and sections, student branches, and chapters. So this competition is supported by the student branch in our university, La Trobe University student branch, lots of active volunteers, and that's another sort of direction you might want to explore once you're familiar with the society. So membership types, as I said, student member is probably um, uh, the most economical, if you like, a membership, and it's usually heavily discounted as well. So we will continue to have that conversation as we go through the many iterations of the competition. And then there is other levels of membership. When you become a full-time employee, then you become a member, a senior member, all the way to what's the prestigious title, which is the fellow grade or life member. So the IEEE has many awards, and this is the nature of the society. So I'm sure um, members in the audience will recognize some of the names here: Marconi, Gordon Moore, and so on, who have contributed significantly to the advancement of technology, and they have been recognized. So the Medal of Honor is, I think it's about $1 million. And it's not, yeah, it's not every year. It is when there is this world-changing, game-changing innovation that someone's worked most of their career towards. So the IEEE has an interest towards awards and recognition of achievements, and that's why this competition also has awards. And this is how we bring members together to again push the vision of advancing technology for humanity. So now coming to the Industrial Electronics Society, which is one of the many societies in the IEEE. So there's about 20 societies, and there's also things called councils. It's a very large, structured organization. So the IEEE is the broader organization, and inside that you get society. So if if people in the audience are from university environment, you can think of the university being the IEEE, and the societies being departments or faculties. So the IES works within the IEEE, but also has its own budget, its own interests, its own membership base, and so on. So this competition is supported by is fully sponsored by the IES, no other society, and that's why we encourage you to become members, and as we shortlist or go through the iterations. At some point, it will become a condition of your participation that you are a member, because we want to make this competition also an avenue to bring membership together. As I said, it's not a lot, so it's something that we encourage and advocate for. So in the IES, the focus is on the theory and application of many different technologies for the purpose of industrial outcomes or industrial products or services. And that's what we advertised or promoted in our hackathon promotion material. It was always an industrial AI project. And some of your projects clearly had this. So things like IoTs, energy systems, some health applications. So there is a diversity of industrial applications and projects that you have proposed. Some also include things like robotics, signal processing, vision systems have quite remarkably changed after Gen AI. And you can find out more about society if you go to this website. There is also something called IES I10, ITEN, which has news about what our members are doing and our achievements. Okay, so coming down to the hackathon. So this is, as you've seen, you probably have read all the collateral we've promoted. It is based on Gen AI, and Gen AI is bleeding edge technology. It's the best technology to date, far greater than what happened in the Industrial Revolution. We haven't seen a lot of transformation yet or disruption, but we'll gradually see this as we progress into more new models and more different applications. So one really good example is in 2023, when ChatGPT was released to the global public, there was a lot of challenges or disruption caused in the universities because students would use that to write their assignments. And this was not the intention of OpenAI, that this becomes a really good plagiarism tool, but it actually happened. And without any prior warning. So this is disruptive technology. This is a game-changing technology because it was so good that it was used not only for the benefit, but also for the not so beneficial. Well, to some people, it's beneficial. And the universities were struggling to bring about different misconduct policies and how to address large-scale AI-based misconduct. So that's a really good example of how cutting-edge AI is, because AI was built for things like prediction, classification, or generation of content, but not, it wasn't designed for plagiarism, but it became useful for that. So Gen AI has many diverse applications, and we want to promote the fact that Gen AI can be used in industry settings. And that's why we have an industry focus in the hackathon, because also the society, IES, has an industry focus. So some examples I've shown here: smart grid. We can use Gen AI for energy optimization. In citizen science, we can use Gen AI to bring lots of images from the built environment, the natural environment, even the digital environment, and focus on how this can be pushed towards a project in sustainability. So things like recycling, reuse, or circular economy. So all of that is accelerated or enabled by the use of Gen AI. And even in an industrial, in a smart factory, automated factory setting, Gen AI can be used to redesign, reconfigure the space, and also improve the process, the factory line process that is followed in the production approach. So what is Gen AI? Gen AI is AI that's able to generate new content. So this is distinguished from kind of old AI. Old AI was non-Gen AI. It's not old. It's used for predictions, things like forecasting, time series forecasting, regression-based predictions, classifications, associations, profiling, optimization, using things like swarm optimization or swarm intelligence algorithms. So those are task-oriented or narrow AI versus generative or generalized AI is where it can produce new content. So task focused is there is a specific goal, prediction, classification, or association versus AI that will generate content. So text, images, video, or a combination. So we have many examples, and I'm sure everyone's had their sort of ChatGPT experience. So industrial applications are quite diverse, and I think looking at the projects that have been proposed this time, last year it was maybe slightly confusing because everyone was thinking of a chatbot or using it to to do text-based activities. But we want to push that further. So this is more of a complex system or scenario. It's not just building a chatbot. It is a chatbot is a component of this, but you have maybe other types of AI or other information, IoT sensors, sensor readings, or energy systems, data streams coming together, and then you have a conversational agent or a process-oriented agent or something similar. So these are some examples, but looking at the proposals that you've submitted, I think you have understood what is required, which is really good. So the ones that we have shortlisted for the next round are really focused towards producing an industrial, an AI system or an AI model that is beneficial for an industrial application. Okay, so the hackathon has several objectives. Firstly, to bring people together, which we are doing at the moment. So we have close to 50 participants. We had more than 300 submissions. So everyone's interested to learn more or to contribute to this sort of expansive field of Gen AI and also its practical value in industrial systems and settings. So firstly, to contribute academic research knowledge, which I said earlier, where you contribute a research paper, and that is a lot more long-lasting than building a prototype. So you can build a prototype, but if you don't document this for the next generation of researchers or the next or researchers from halfway across the world from where you live, then it's kind of lost. Your effort is not sufficiently acknowledged. But when you translate this into a research paper, it is on record. It can be cited if you choose to pursue an academic career, do a PhD or even work full-time in academia. A research paper is really valued. So this might be your first research paper, and the strongest benefit of this hackathon is that we guide you through the way. So we'll have sessions where you incrementally build different parts of the research paper, and that way you build your research skills. So submitting a conference paper, and then if your idea is really innovative or really novel, then you have the opportunity to extend this into a journal. So that's not part of the hackathon, but we can guide you if there is an interest. And a journal paper is a lot more work. So if you did maybe 3 or 4 times the work that you invest into a conference paper has to go into a journal paper. But I think there's a few proposals from startup companies as well. So this might be of interest because when you have a journal paper in a okay, I
Now
hope
you're
it,
audible. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, my headset battery died. If you have, especially for companies, it's really beneficial. And the third one is international collaboration. So we have submissions from more than 10 countries, I think. And this is really good because IEEE is a global organization, and we want different research groups across the world to talk to each other and potentially meet at the conference, which really connects the dots between what you're doing and how it benefits the world and how you might exchange different ideas with those participants. Student engagement. Students are the next generation of technology builders, and we want to contribute our knowledge and our effort, our time to work with students in mentoring and guiding you towards achieving these objectives, and obviously generative AI technology awareness. So you will see different projects coming up at different times, and you will see how different groups have used Gen AI in different methods. So I think last slide is ICON 2025 is our target, and we will be all submitting. Hopefully, all teams are submitting papers to this conference, and we'll have a very large session, and potentially also organize some demonstrations of prototypes where it's feasible to bring the prototype with you to Spain. And if you visit the website, ICON 2025 has a really colorful website. It will show you the different activities and the sites and attractions of Madrid as well. And obviously, when you get to Madrid, it's a short flight to anywhere else in Europe. You can cover about 50 countries. And the best part is obviously we pay for your travel only to Madrid, not to the rest of Europe. But that is a truly unique opportunity to kickstart your research career and also build generative AI innovations that contribute to the advancement of humanity. That's just a little bit about me. I might stop there. And back to you, Lakshita. I think I went over slightly.
No, that'll be fine. Thank you, Professor. So thanks, Professor, for sharing a lot about why we are organizing such a hackathon and then giving the introduction to this phase. And thank you again. So everyone, so the next part would be, so we'll be going through the hackathon guidelines and what is expected from you. And so this will cover the timeline, the milestones, the resources, prizes, and then the workshops. And we'll have a brief Q&A session. So first of all, congratulations. So you are among the top 45. And so this year we passed the 300 registration mark. So last year we had 150 from 15 countries. And then this year we were able to double it up. So now we have 300 and from 28 countries. And we have almost about, I think, 20 plus countries represented in this group as well, like the top, the shortlisted countries. And this includes undergrads, postgrads, researchers, and industry personnel. So we have a really good team and take some time to celebrate this because you are among the top 45. And that means your idea is already remarkable and you have a really good potential to achieve more. So this is the hackathon timeline. So we started the registration period from 1st of February and kind of we, due to huge requests, like, so we received about at least 20 to 30 requests to extend the deadline. And because of that, so we extended it by 1 week until February 24th. And since we had 300, so it took a little bit time for us to sort through everything because we need to select the best out of best. And so we selected 45 and then we informed all the shortlisted teams on March 3rd and today, March 5th. So we are in the welcome session. So what is from March 5th to until, so we announce the winners, that is scheduled to end of April. So the hackathon is, as Professor mentioned, so the output, the output of this hackathon is not just a prototype, but a highly capable, like a very good manuscript that could be submitted, that can be submitted to any IEEE conferences. And we are targeting ICON 2025 for the finalist papers. So all the, out of these 45, if you all done really good job, there's a possibility that we can submit all 45 papers. And last year, out of we had 43, and then 25 teams completed the hackathon with 25 manuscripts. But we were only been able to select 12, and then 9 of them were accepted to ICON. So this 2.5 months, so this entire thing is broken down into 2 major areas, where the first 6 weeks and 5 days, this is the phase, this is the time period that you will be working on the paper, doing that. So we want to iterate this strongly because I saw, like, when some of you filled this form and then we asked about your plan throughout the next phase. So some of you had thought that you are going to be spending entire 2.5 months building this prototype and then allocating the last week or two just for the papers to write the paper. But that is not the case. So there are three major milestones that you have to follow through, and then each milestone you are building a part of your paper. So you can't wait until end of your prototype or end of your experiment to write it up. You have to submit a small part at milestone one. And then after that, the initial submission, which is almost 80% completed paper with almost everything is done on April 6th, which is 5 weeks from today. And then with your mentor's feedback, you can go on one round of review. And then on April 20th, you have to submit the final version. From there onwards, we start the judging period. So that can take about a week or maximum two. And by the end of April, we'll be sharing the winners, the finalists, as well as the top six places. The top three teams will be the winners, while the second three teams will be the runners up, and all six will receive the travel grants for ICON. And during this time period, so we'll be organizing a separate. So this is a separate avenue. So you'll be conducting your work towards your end goal, where the final submission, and there will be four workshops organized by our team, and especially with the help of the Latrobe University student branch, that executive committee. They are organizing these four workshops that are will be targeting the generative AI domain and will be helpful for you to broaden your understanding about generative AI, and then you can also contribute back with discussions as well. So this is the entire timeline. Please keep in mind that you can't wait until the end of this timeline to start working on your paper. You have to start building it. And so I'll go through what each of these milestones are and then what is required from you. But you have to start working from today onwards. And by any chance, if you feel that you cannot complete it by April 20th, but it's not April 20th, sorry, April 6th, where you have to submit the initial submission, because by this time you have to finalize your experiment results and everything has to be ready by April 6th. So if you think you won't be able to get your product or get your prototype ready and then experiments done and then write the paper by April 6th, please do reach out to me. And we are these days we are planning for a second iteration, like another extension of the hackathon, which is targeting another IEEE conference, but that is not confirmed yet. But in case if you feel that you won't be able to complete this within the next 6 weeks, please do reach out to me, and then we'll think of how to get it done, or we can figure it out. So, and then once the judging period ends, and at the end of April, we'll be announcing the winners. And then, so the currently icon paper submission deadline is towards the end of April, but this will be extended another 2 weeks. And mid of May, we have to submit the icon paper. So from our past experience, so during this time, based on the judges' feedbacks, you will be able to do another round of review so that your icon paper will be fully finished. And this judge panel is highly like very experts in the domain in terms of generative AI as well as technical writing. So they will have really good constructive feedbacks for you to improve your papers. And during this period, you get a chance to revisit things and then finish up the paper for the icon paper submission. And our work as the hackathon ends from this moment onwards. And then after that, once you submit the paper, it's icon, and the panel, the conference has the authority, or conference will be taking care of the review process, and then we don't have any control over here. So what we will be doing is, so we'll be making sure that any review, so we'll be doing much rather more deeper review than normal conference does. in terms of to get your paper into that higher level. And with so we are confident that any paper that we submit will be accepted for icon, but that is not a guarantee. So, but from our past experience, any paper that is we submit, like we process, and then we judge after our judge panel's decisions, and then once you fix all those mistakes, there's a 99% chance that your paper going to be accepted for icon, but it is not guaranteed. Just want to iterate that further. And then if your paper is accepted, the top 6 teams will be getting those travel grants that we announced. So the milestones would be like this. So that was a timeline, and then the milestone. So the first milestone, as I mentioned, with each milestone, we are building a part of the research paper. And then for the first milestone, which is due in 16th March, which is another 11 days from today. So you have to submit the 200-word abstract, a brief review of similar. So this is the literature review, and a diagram, your methodological diagram, how you plan to achieve this, and then some sort of an experiment plan, what sort of data set that you are going to be using. And this is a 2-page document. So we'll be sharing the IEEE conference template, and then you'll be putting this information, like putting these sections in that conference paper template, and you're going to be building that paper from bits and pieces. And then this first milestone will be a version, the same paper that you're going to be working, a version with only 2 pages, and with the abstract, and then the other important the sections that we are expecting for you to submit. And then the milestone 2, which is on April 6th, which is 1 month from today. So you have to submit your initial implementation, initial submission. So this is almost 80% of the paper that you are going to be submitting, and then you're going to be presenting at ICON. So this is 3 to 5 page document, which includes all the information, all the content of a academic manuscript, with an introduction, methodology, results, observation, and then the references. And you have to submit. This is the initial submission, and then you have to work on a demonstration video as well. Please create. Do not exceed 10 minutes. More than that, just showcase what your project and or your prototype is. So you can create a set of slides. This can be later used for when you are presenting your paper at the conference. So create a set of slides and then record it with Zoom or whatever the screen capture software that you can use, and then upload the video and then share with us. And so the form will have a section where it will ask you to submit that link as well. So by milestone 2, you have to submit the initial paper and then a demonstration video of no more than 10 minutes. And the milestone 3, during this milestone 2 and 3, so this time period, milestone 2 and 3, so your initial version will be uh, reviewed by your mentor, and then so we'll have a small judge, not a judge panel, but small review panel allocated from the hackathon. They will also be going through these reviews and with your mentor, and then give feedback on your initial version. And then the mentor will work with you during this period from 6th of April to 20th April. There's 2 weeks time, and mentor will work with you to build up the final output, which is the 6-page full paper. This will be 100% completed manuscript, should be ready to submit for the conference. And once this milestone is done, this is the final milestone, and then you will be evaluated based on your academic, your writing style and all the everything. So you'll be evaluated, and the judge panel will take the decisions based on this final submission document. And these are some important information that you have to follow. So all the submission material has to be English. And when you are filling out a form or anything, please fill that in English, and we won't be considering any other languages, and English has to be language. And then the document should be compiled on Overleaf. Overleaf is a LaTeX uh, LaTeX program where you can start building up your manuscript. We don't, even though IEEE supports Word files as well, but during this hackathon, it is mandatory for you to use Overleaf. And we'll be conducting a session, a workshop on how to write IEEE conference papers by on Professor Daswin De Silva. And we'll be going through some tips and tricks about how to use Overleaf, and then why you should use it rather than Word, because this will anyway be helpful for you as well, because each and every one of your teams at least have more than one member. And then when you are jointly contributing to a manuscript like this, it's always easy to use these cloud platforms such as Overleaf. And once you get used to it, it's really easy for you to navigate. And it is essential that your submission must be original work and solely owned by you and your team. And if you are using AI tools to write the submission, which is okay, but you have to explicitly mention and what you have used and in which section. And in terms of resources and mentorship, so you are eligible. So when you are doing this experiment, you are eligible to claim up to 100 USD for devices, APIs, and other services. And we'll be processing these 100 USD reimbursement. So you have to first pay from your out of pocket. And once you complete milestone 3, once you submit milestone 3, I will be sharing another form where you can submit all this information, and then we'll be processing this 100 USD hardware grant. But in order for you to eligible, you have to submit the final, the milestone 3, irrespective of whether you get selected to the finals or not, whether you are a winner or not, you'll be eligible to get this 100 USD as long as you complete milestone 3. And in case, so there are projects which are really interesting. And then if you need more than 100 USD, and then we have some provisions, but this is not guaranteed. But talk through this with your mentor. And then if you need it, mentors can submit that request to us, and subject to availability, and then based on our our acceptance, so we will consider this request. There's some funds available if you want to go more than 100 US dollars. And then when talking about mentorship, so each of your teams will be assigned a mentor during the hackathon period. So these mentors are from generative AI and AI domain, who has done lots of publications in the past, who have really good experience. And so you can use them. You can seek their advices whenever you need it. And they will be able to help you with whatever the request that you have. And also we have some really good in our team. So we have some experts who are working in industry as well. So you can, if you are still not sure about your project having an industrial angle, you can always talk this with your mentor, and then figure out what to do next. And please use the hackathon Slack channel to ask questions. And so I have shared that link with you, and then I have added it to the end of this presentation as well. So when talking about the prizes and judging criteria, so you'll be judged during that judging period. You'll be evaluated for your originality, uniqueness, technical complexity, practicality, creativity, results and impact, and the clarity of presentation. So you'll be evaluated based on your paper, your manuscript that you submit at the milestone 3, not the experiment itself. So even though you have done a really good experiment, but if you haven't translate that into your manuscript, still you won't be selected. And therefore, please follow through, and then prepare that manuscript, start working on that research paper from today onwards, and then you won't have to rush it towards the end. And so last year we received lots of uh, extension request towards the end, but we are looking at a deadline. So ICON 2025 paper submission deadline is on mid of May. So there's little time for us to extend. So therefore, please, this time we won't be able to facilitate those extension requests. And then the prices. So you won't be receiving a cash price, but the price will be paid to you as an reimbursement for your travel, and this will be a travel grant. So please note that. So the top three teams, you will receive $3,000 travel grant as a reimbursement. So once you complete your conference, and then you return back within a month of time, you will be asked to submit all your receipts and all the expenses, and we'll be reimbursing you that money up to that certain level. So for the top three teams, you'll be received 3,000 US dollars, and for the remaining the next three teams, $1,500, and the finalists. So we'll be submitting all the finalist papers to hackathon, to icon 2025, but we won't be able to support you in that. Submission will be done by our end, so we'll be paying those registration fees and everything, but we won't be able to support your travel. If you have money, you can, there are lots of avenues where IEEE you can request for travel grants, and if you are able to figure out that, for the remaining finalists, you can also attend the conference and then present your paper. If you aren't able to do that, so still the paper will be under your name, but we'll be presenting that paper on your behalf, as uh, uh, if you are a finalist. And all the teams will get a certificate of appreciation upon completion. And please keep in touch with the website for all the information. I have added a new section, Hackathon Progress, where every email communication that we do. So I'll be posting there in this web page as well. So please follow that in case if you are not sure about where you are right now. And then if you think you missed some sort of communication, please go there first. If it is not there, then reach out to me, and then I'll be happy to help you. And we have the communication channel. We have a Slack channel for the communication. And I've seen a lot of you have already joined it. If you are not, please do join. So we have a dedicated channel, and we'll be posting every announcement over there. And also, as hackathon participants, you also can talk to each other. As the professor also mentioned, collaboration is the key. So we are highly encouraging you to introduce yourself over there, and then find more research partners towards like, if you are interested in collaborating, please do so. And so I would like to so there are four workshops, and I would like to invite Isuru to quickly go through these workshops and what each of these will be covered.
Thank you, Lakshita. So there will be four workshops that is organized on behalf of the Hackathon Organizing Committee that will help you in the hackathon. So the first one is the academic publishing in AI research conducted by Professor Daswinder Silva. So that will be held on March 14th. There's a typo in this slide, but apologies for that. That will be held on 14th of March. So in this workshop, we will cover the overleaf, as Lakshita previously mentioned, and all the aspect of the manuscript drafting for that will help you to succeed in hackathon milestone. And the rest of the workshop is arranged for you to help to dive deep into Gen AI technologies and the industrial applications. So the second workshop that will be held on 20th of March will focus on the internals of large language model, and that will be conducted by Vidura, who is a data scientist at the Center for Data Analytics and Cognition, La Trobe University. And the next workshop will be on March, done by Dr. Sirivardhana, who has a vast amount of experience in the industry in terms of LLM, large language models and Gen AI techniques. So in this workshop, we will talk about the applications of large language models and Gen AI in various industrial use cases. So we'll be talking through the use cases, and that will be followed by a question and answer session. And the last workshop will be held on the 2nd of April. There's a typo again. So that is hosted by Dr. Nishan Mills, who is a technical architect and a lecturer at La Trobe, and also by Dr. Gihan Gamage, who is a AI automation engineer in the industry. So in the final workshop will focus on the state of the art Gen AI in industry integration. So then again, we will talk about various aspects, and we'll be going through several case studies followed by a Q&A session. Thanks, and over to you, Lakshita.
Thanks, Isuru. So sorry, so these dates has to be fixed. So we'll be anyway sharing you with all this information before each and every workshop, and then so that you can always decide whether you want to join. And then even if you are unable to join, a recording will be shared with you. And thanks. So that'll be the guidelines and presentation. So if you have any questions, now is the time. So I received a chat message from Irene. So you're asking about abstract for the milestone one. Is it possible to write abstract now in the beginning of the project, but it will be changed and updated in the end? Yes, definitely. So main reason for you to first submit the abstract is, so now you will be kind of gathering all your thoughts into a one single paper, and then so we are pushing you towards first submitting an abstract. But once you are when you are doing the paper and then you are experiment, definitely there'll be new content that you can add to the abstract. That is totally fine, and we just want to make sure that you are starting this project with a good idea, and then you have the time to brainstorm it with your mentor's help. But you need to have like a proper idea, and then to start working on it. But later, any content that you submit in milestone 1 and 2, you can always update it in the milestone 3, as well as if you are selected to the finalist before submitting to icon, you can also change it up. And Amir asking whether this presentation will be shared. Yes, I will send it to you straight away once this session is done with the link of video. So there's one from China. You're asking about the resource request benefits, such as subscription for the hackathon, ChatGPT Plus membership, or Google Colab Pro Plus membership within the 100 USD available. ChatGPT Plus membership, you won't be so even though ChatGPT Plus membership will be helpful during your ideation, but you won't be directly using that in your application. So unfortunately, ChatGPT Plus you won't be able to claim. But if you are using any sort of like OpenAI API services, and then that bills, you can recover or you can reimburse from the hackathon. And then if you are using Google Colab Pro Plus as well, so that'll be like monthly subscription, and yes, that Google Pro you can claim. So you need to submit an invoice, otherwise like an invoice of your expense, and that will be enough. And then so I'll be sending you a form where you can submit all your expense items with the proper receipts, and then we will go through it and validate it out with your mentor, and then process that reimbursement claims. So Sadman asking, can we generate our own synthetic data set using any software? Professor, do you have anything to add over there?
Yes, thanks, Lakshita. Yeah, you can generate your, as long as it's valid, it's relevant to the project that you have proposed, and you address things like bias, inaccuracies. So the data set itself is valid to the research question you're trying to answer. So that's fine. Criteria. So if you don't have a data set, you can have a look at the IEEE data port, which has many different types of data sets. So that's a conversation you can have with the mentor. So if your project doesn't have a pre-existing data set already, then you'd have to do a bit of exploration to find this.
So someone also asking whether you can include an additional member. Yes, you can. So by milestone 2, that with the milestone 2 submission, so you'll be asked to enter all the information about your team members, and in that level and in that form, you can, if you have new additional members, you can add them out. But after that, you won't be able to, because you're going to be following the same team, and then adding new members you can only do up until that milestone 2. And Ram Kumar is asking whether usage of ChatGPT or Perplexity API and open source models are allowed. Any model you can use, as soon as whatever the requirement, you can use it. Professor, is there any limitation, or is there any limits to using any sort of open source models?
No, you can use. I can't see the question, but yeah, any model is fine. So even DeepSeek, which is open source, it's completely fine. So as long as you're not compromising things like patient data or location information of individuals. So again, if you think there is sensitive data in the type of problem you're trying to solve, then talk to your mentor, because the location of where the model is provided from can be important in that case. But we promote open source, and things like Hugging Face will have many different open source models available.
Okay. And whether hackathon theme is restricted to LLMs or computer
No,
vision
it's not.
agents?
The main in terms of the application, it has to be an industrial application. But having said that, we also have some really good health applications in there. Health is an industry, so the projects we have shortlisted are aligned with the criteria. So you don't have to be too concerned about it unless you change the scope, of course. So there is no restriction on LLMs or computer vision. So it's all good.
Yes. And
Mentor.
yeah, so I'll be sharing the mentor allocations within the week, and I just need to confirm with. So I have already shared your project's ideas with the mentors, and then they are picking up. So within this week, you'll be. So I will introduce you and then the mentor with an individual email to each team, and then you can start discussing your projects with the mentor. So the contacting, so I will initially start initiate the discussion, looping you all in one email, and then after that you have the option to talk to. And then the workshops, so sorry, I missed the dates. I missed the date. The dates will be as per the initial timelines slide. So we will fix that in the slide deck, and then we'll share with you in case there are any changes. So each workshop will be adding all those information in our hackathon website. And also before the workshop happens, so we will send a similar Google calendar invite, and so that you'll be notified of any time and everything. So Ali is asking, how can I get the data sets? So you can create an account in IEEE data port, and you can go through the existing data sets over there. And then if any case that, because creating a data port account, you can do it without IEEE membership with your own email or anything. You can create one there and then go through it. In case if you can't download it out, please do reach out to me, and then I can source that data set for you, and then I will share with you. And Irene is asking, how often can we have meetings with the mentors during the period before final submission? So I will share that information when I'm introducing the mentor. So mainly, you initially will have one meeting before your milestone one, where you can talk with your idea and then start refining that. And then after that, weekly. So our recommendation is, since mentors are also working at the industry or working in their own time, so they are also volunteering, and keep your contacts through emails first, and then if mentor has time and if a mentor agrees, you can join for a call and then talk through it. This is depends with the mentor's availability, but they have agreed that they'll have one meeting before the milestone one, and then before you submit your initial version, there'll be another meeting, and during that period, all the communication will be over email. But sometimes, based on mentors availability, they will go for more calls or more meetings with you. Is there any particular platform that we will be meeting with our mentors? Platform like Google Meet, Zoom, etc. So you can talk through, and you can discuss that with your mentor itself, whatever the platform that you all can join.
So the mentors are volunteers, so their time is precious. Important to them. So if you can summarize all the questions, have it ready, and they'll be happy to meet you. But if you can send the questions in advance via email, it's a lot more structured. It's more professional that way, because they're volunteering their time to help you with this project and support the hackathon. So let's be very efficient in how we talk to them.
Yes. Is there any other questions? I think I have replied to all the questions that are in the chat. Anything else? You can speak as well, so not only the chat. Yes, the recording will be shared to your leader's mail, as well as we'll be posting it in the Slack channel. Yeah, that'll be done. Okay, then if
Thank you.
we are almost there, so 8:59, and thank you all so much for joining, and then thanks Professor and Isuru for joining the session. And I hope we'll have a really good iteration of IEEE IES Generative AI Hackathon this year, and we'll have a lot more papers than we had last year. And thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Look forward to many great AI innovations. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll be in touch.